million retinos, 129 million rod, 6 million cone. Sometimes we have a soul, no one full-time for ourselves. 100 billion neurons in the brain, which when active, produce enough electricity in a day to light up a bulb. Around 60,000 thoughts per day that make sense. 1 million billion bits of saved information. There are spaces of importance, plastered or just glued together in patchworks, carpets instead of walls, dust in joints instead of carpenters, and wind beneath the doors. Don't move.
There's little doubt that all forms of limestone, including some of your bones, were once in solution in the sea, Mother. So said the illustrated magazine I read, sitting next to you at the hairdresser's. The dome of your dryer humming reassuringly. Natural processes gave you form, and little creatures helped secret you. Rainwater high in carbon dioxide ate away at the Earth's outer crust, it said. And I concluded that you'd been washed into the sea as a big wave of highly concentrated liquid. The humming of the dryer was like the murmur of the sea.
60 million sensory receptors, 1,000 that enable smell. The nose detects 50,000 different smells, 96 million that enable sight. The eye has a resolution of 276 megapixels. From the viewpoint of eternity, it doesn't matter if in this world, side by side with this body, or another. From the moment standpoint, to choose emptiness and wait. Heart, 150,200 heartbeats per day, will make 1.5 million barrels of blood flow in a lifetime. Will beat even outside of our bodies because its own electric charge. Someday, the time will align, maybe only in fear of or excitement of childhood. Sometimes in the surprise of old age. 6 liters of blood, enough iron to make a nail 7.6 centimeters long. 42 billion blood vessels, 40 trillion red blood cells. There are feelings in this body which don't regret the past. One organism absorbs another through a shredder to cut out stretched skin, which allows for cyclical stabbing again and again.
Sometimes there was so much limestone in the water, it was deposited as lime mud. There's still quite a lot about, even deep underground. You've been building up all this time. Limestone is good for building with. Whitewash is made from builder's lime. When you died, Dad told him to make the house all white. Builder's lime is mostly limestone, calcium carbonate, by another name. You are made of little crystals of calcium, Mother.
206 bones, 300 when we are born, 640 muscles, 360 joints. The macro world answers to the micro world, somewhere in the distance of other cities. Wrinkles, where once there was smoothness, turning to self in the interest of one's salvation, creating body of the world, out of nothing. 23,040 exiles per day and an equal amount of inhales. 100 strands of hair per day lost. 800 milliliters of sweat per day poured out. Thousands of words, the howling of words across the body, weeping, contour of awkwardness, space, incoordination, and an increase of noisy operation. To entangle, reach out to your hand. Thousands of conversation, if that, rather silence. Every day the heart produces enough energy to power a truck for 42 kilometers. Throughout the average lifespan, we fill 2 pools with saliva, 23,000 liters. Our uncalled DNA can stretch the distance from Earth to Pluto and back. Our fingers can feel things smaller than 13 nanometers. Our lips are 100 times more sensitive than our fingerprints. We need, obviously, yet obviously, we are needed also for some reason.
Heated to 1,000 degrees centigrade, or thereabouts, you separate into carbon dioxide and calcium dioxide. The carbon dioxide is your soul that passes. What remains is the solid calcium oxide, burnt lime.
100,000 chemical reactions happen in our brain every second. Our bones are 5 times stronger than steel. On average, we say around 4,800 words per day. On average, we spend 2 weeks of our lives kissing. Nerve impulses travel through our body at around 19 meters per second. They run between the lights, and we disappear behind the doors. In a pile of dry leaves, we cover ourselves with branches, and patiently waiting for the time to come. Our average lifespan is 2,475,576,000 seconds. In this time, we say on average around 100 to 123,205,750 volts. We make love 4,239 times, and only a little over 70,000 cells die in your body while listening to the last words.
Dad and I took your burnt up bones and your accumulated blood and softly as a pagan mason sacrificing to his mother earth, mixed you into our mortar to make it set, although you were there already. Every big brick we laid that day had fallen down by morning. Thank you.